Hey everybody, what's going on? Your host LovelyCheesePizza here. Welcome to another edition of Sports Sunday where we talk about sports, life, and everything in between. And we are here again taking on the world powers for the fourth time in this little deal. And I'll tell you right now, this is going to be an extremely unorthodox video, and I apologize ahead of time for this, but this is kind of what had to happen. I have been sitting here trying to edit this video for about 2.5 hours now, and it is just not cooperating with me in the least. So this is going to be one of the very first, if not the only video in my entire career in which I have done post-commentary for it. It is a strange thing. It feels very unnatural for me to be doing it this way, but I literally have no other choice, and I'll explain to you why. Basically what's going on is every single time I put this video file into my editing program, for whatever reason, and it's never done this before, it's like randomly inserting this weird like bit of lag, and it's causing all this crazy audio video desync to where the game audio is not matching the actual video, not even close. It's off by like a solid at least 1.5 seconds, and it's so weird because the raw video file is perfect. Like everything matches up fine, it sounds great, but then the very moment that I put it into that program, the whole thing goes fucking belly up, and it makes no sense. I can put it into any other program and it's fine, but then if I put it in here, it doesn't work. And so I even tried uninstalling it and reinstalling it, totally doesn't work. I tried the program on my laptop, totally still does the same thing. It is the most mind-boggling thing, and it's pissing me off. And I don't know what else to do. So this is turning into an extremely patchwork effort, of which we are now down 1-0 because that guy totally crushed one off of me in that situation because I was stupid enough to totally pitch him outside again. It's like I'm insane. I keep, like, no matter what happens, I still think that I can get away with pitching him out there, and I know that dude has like a mile-wide grin on his face. He's just like, hey man, if you want to keep throwing it there, I'm not gonna not swing at it. I mean, that's like giving an alcoholic a beer and telling him not to drink it, you know? It's gonna happen, and you're dumb enough for giving it to him, so that's what's going on there. So yeah, basically, I'm doing this in the most patchwork way possible, and so I know that you're gonna notice some visual differences here, but I'm actually editing this program in, in Windows Movie Maker. And now the game is tied 1-1, yeah, because I was able to atone for my sins in there. But it's been frustrating, man. I really hope that this doesn't happen moving forward because I really can't afford to be having to do patchwork efforts like this on a regular basis. It's fucking stupid. But anywho, we're not going to worry about it. We're going to have some fun. I'm going to really try to embrace hopefully the one time in my life I'll ever have to do a post-commentary video. But at least there were things to speak of in the sports world, at the very least. I mean, for one, the World Series is going on, and Cleveland one game away from pulling this thing off. One fucking game away, and they blew it. They had the chance to close it out tonight, but they didn't do it, which is fine. Like, if it were me personally, I'd rather win the World Series in front of my home crowd. So, not saying that they did that on purpose, because no team would ever be stupid enough to do that on purpose. But, you know, I think, and not to mention the Cubs had Lester out on the mound, so it was going to be pretty hard to win that one anyways, but I think that if they don't win Game 6, they might lose the World Series, and they might pull a Golden State Warriors of the World Series and be up 3-1 and blow it. I don't know, though. I mean, I think Arrieta's pitching Game 6, and he has been pretty, I don't know, I feel like lackluster is kind of the wrong word, but it's been basically that. He had a really good outing, I think, the last time he was out, and after that, it's just been kind of, he's been pretty mortal. I think his ERA this postseason is like 4 or something like that, so this would be the prime opportunity. If they're gonna close it out, this has to be the game to do it, because if they have to throw Corey Kluber out there again on minimal rest again, I don't know if he can do it. He was masterful last time out, but asking him to do it a third time in the World Series is a lot for anybody. So, I don't know, we'll see what happens. But there were a couple of things. There were a couple of things in sports today. I don't know if it was like a conspiracy or not, but apparently sports franchises and fans are having problems spelling things. It's really, really funny. I was watching, or I didn't actually watch it, but I saw a picture from the Phoenix Suns game. And it took me a minute to figure out whether this was real or not. But in the Phoenix Suns game, somebody actually spelled the name on one of the players' jerseys wrong. And, like, that type of thing can happen, but it's usually more likely to happen with a dude with, like, a crazy European name, like Sakalidis, or, like, Arvydas Sabonis, or any one of the foreign names like Jokic or Nurkic, or any of those that have potentially odd spelling. But this was Eric Bledsoe, okay? I mean, Bledsoe is a pretty easy one to spell, and on the back of his jersey it says Beldso. And I saw that, I was like, oh man, how uncomfortable would that have had to have been playing a game in that all day. Maybe he didn't even notice, but I'll bet if he goes back and watches footage on that, because every player does that, I guess, he's gonna find out, dude, they fucking misspelled my jersey. Come on, man. How stupid is that? But that's not nearly as bad as this other one. This other one, I almost pissed myself from laughing. I couldn't believe how bad it was, and it was literally, if you were to think about it, it's like the total summary of an entire franchise that was put into display by the fans. It was amazing. And I try to not use the term amazing very often, but this was truly awesome. It was so great. So, you know how, like, during football games or, like, soccer games, they do it too, where they'll have, fans out in the stands will get involved, and they'll have, like, the big signs that, everybody in the stands will coordinate in putting together, and when they unveil it, it's like this big fucking thing, Well, this one, like, you know how different fan bases, that was the worst fucking throw I've ever seen, by the way. Did you see that shit? The catcher tried to throw out a stealing base runner, and he barely even got it to the pitcher's mound. I mean, I know, like, people in their 80s that could throw better than that. And on the other side of the coin, kids that are like 5 years old that could throw better than that. That was just fucking disgusting. Not like I'm arguing, because I got a free base out of it, but still, really bad. But you know how, like, in various sports, usually football and baseball, I believe, you got, special areas of the crowd where they name it, where you got, like the 12th man, or you've got, like, the dog pound, and you've got, like the King's Corner, and all these, you got special little groups of people that have their own sections in the crowd. Well, the Browns, they're the dog pound. That was the one that I just mentioned. This is awesome, by the way. Look at this little bunt single by the pitcher. Oh, fantastic. But, so the Browns, they're the dog pound. And I got picked off. And so in the crowd, they had this three-piece sign, and it was supposed to say hashtag dog pound. And in a brilliant moment of complete failed execution, the people that were holding up the first and second sign got it backwards. And so instead of it reading a hashtag dog pound, it read hashtag Gapod de Wound. And oh my god, I saw that, and it was just the most beautiful, beautiful mess I have ever seen out of a sign that was designed to be something else. Oh my god. Like, the thing that I immediately thought was, oh my Jesus, they totally screwed it up. But was it something that was immediately noticeable to the fact that did they put that up on the Jumbotron and then the entire stadium knew that they fucked it up? Because that would be so much cooler. Like, they're holding up, they're like, yeah, because all the people holding it aren't really going to necessarily be able to see it. And then, but for the people that are maybe like in the front of it that can, like, they look up at the Jumbotron or whatever, and they're like, oh my god, oh, we fucked it up, man, we ruined it, we ruined everything. Like, I don't, I generally, when you have moments like that where they unveil those huge deals, they usually are spot on with that. Like, and they're a lot of the times those things can be really, really intricate. But this was a 3-piece sign. Okay, like it's not like they were creating like this giant like collage in the stands. This was a 3-piece sign, albeit a pretty large 3-piece sign, but still only 3 pieces, and they got 2 of them wrong, and it just totally fucked the entire thing up. Oh man, it was great. I would love to see more and more and more of those things, but all in all, probably not going to. I have a text message. I gotta check this thing out real quick. I don't have a text message. Oh, no, I do. There it is. That. Okay. I have a very serious question to ask you. What is the question? We'll see what this is. The words "I have an important question to ask you" can be a very double-edged sword, because it's either a serious question that's not a big deal, or it's a serious question that's a super big deal, and we'll figure it out. Now, okay, well, it's definitely the first one. It's totally the serious question that was not a big deal at all. Crunchy or smooth peanut butter is the question, which, hey, if we're going into that, it is 100% smooth. Actually, not 100%. I'd go 60-40 on smooth. Personally, I love creamy peanut butter more. But I think that a number of years ago, like back when I was in high school, I think I probably erred on the side of crunchy more for the textural reason. But when I had braces, I actually, I used to eat crunchy peanut butter all the time, and when I had braces, I actually got chunks of the peanuts like stuck in my brackets, and I almost busted the wire once from that, and it hurt really, really bad. And so I was like, fuck it, man. If I'm going to be doing this, I need to go to creamy. And then I just started kind of like building the resume for creamy, and now that's kind of my peanut butter preference. But I mean, if crunchy is what I've got, I'll totally eat it. Like I still love it. But I think that from like a textural standpoint, creamy is much more pleasing. Aside the fact that when it sticks to the roof of your mouth, it's still very uncomfortable. But hey, that's just the way it rolls. By the way, this game was an absolute colonic in action. I mean, I just totally blew out their assholes completely. We ended up beating them. Not like I'm spoiling much here. I mean, you can see what's going on it's unfolding in front of you right now. It kind of started out the way that the first game did, a little bit in this series, where they kind of gave me a run and I eventually blew them away. But yeah, this one inning just turned into a total just bury 'em enema, just load them up and shit them out, more or less. But oh yeah. Also, my new iPhone 7 Plus just came in. Well, actually, there's a little story to that. It actually came in about 12 days ago, but I didn't know it because I had my friend Matt. I put him on my plan for a little while, and when he was on my plan, he actually ordered the iPhone 7 Plus. That's what And but after that, he decided that when he wasn't going to get very good service from T-Mobile out where he lives, he decided that maybe it wasn't a practical idea, and so I ended up taking him off of my plan. But the phone had already been ordered. And so I was like, well, they said, well, since you're canceling the line, when the phone comes in, you can just refuse the delivery, and they'll send it, they'll just send it back, and, that'll be the end of it. And so I was like, all right, well, whatever. And so I waited, and I had to talk to them like 2 days ago on for a different reason. And I was like, by the way, when's that phone supposed to be delivered? They're like, oh, well, it came in on the 18th. It said that it was delivered already. I was like, oh. Alright, well, that's weird. So I decided, I was like, well, shit, if it's already in, might as well, get it. And I was like, then I guess I can just take it into the T-Mobile store and have them return it for me. And so I was like, hey, man, can you go check and see if it came in? And he's like, yeah, it came in at the office. I'll go check it out. And so today he went and grabbed it, and that's the end of the game, by the way. So this ends up being a very short episode, but we'll have enough time to do some upgrades for our players still. So he goes out to go pick it up, and he's like, dude, we got a little bit of a problem. And I was like, what? He's like, well, okay, so I go out there and I go and get the package, but the package is open, first of all, and the phone was taken out of the box, and the wrapping around the box was taken off, and the box was open. And I was like, what the, why, how? Why would that happen? He's like, well, there's somebody else that works here at my parents' business or whatever. That's where he had it mailed to, because he doesn't have a physical address or like a physical mailbox at his address where he lives. And so he's like, I guess that person was also waiting for a delivered phone, which wouldn't make any sense that they would have it mailed to the place where they work. I don't know. He's like, so apparently they thought that that one was theirs, despite the fact that his name was on the package. But whatever. And so they opened the box, and then they opened the thing up and realized it wasn't the one that they ordered. And so I'm sitting here thinking, dude, I can't return it now because the package has been open. But at the same time, I'm thinking, you know what? I might as well just use it. Like, I was just gonna end up ordering one for myself anyways. I might as well just use this one because I'm not gonna order the 128 gig one. There's really, realistically no reason for me to do that because, like, I'm not gonna, even the way that I use this phone right now, the 16 gig iPhone 6, like, I don't put a lot of music on my phone. I don't necessarily take a lot of pictures and video, even though when I get the 7 Plus, I'm definitely gonna experiment with the new cameras and take some 4K video, because I got to see what that actually looks like last night, because Matt actually has a 7 Plus, and I got to look at it, and holy shit, it looks so good. It is crazy how good it is. So I'm really excited about that, but I'm not going to need to have 128 gigs of space. I'll be able to, more than likely, totally use just like the standard 32 gigs that they come in now, and that'll be more than enough for me. I mean, I'll have enough room for all the apps that I need and the games and whatever else that I decide to put on, but I'll just still have to be mindful with, storage and all that shit, but it's going to be fine. I'm just excited. The only problem is I'm going to have to wait like probably another 3 weeks before I can actually activate and use it, because I still have to finish paying off the phone I have right now, because I'm paying it off incrementally. And so I still have like $150 to go, and because I am not very high up in the money department, I'm kind of screwed. But what do you do? When we come back on the next episode of Sports Sunday, we're gonna have more things going on. We'll hopefully have this whole issue resolved. We'll take on the fifth match against the World Powers, and hopefully we'll be able to replicate this action. If I could have this same thing happen the next 5 times in a row, I'd be smitten by that. I could get married to that shit. I won't, but I could. So with that said, my friends, this is your host, Lovely Cheese Pizza, saying thank you guys for bearing with me in this kind of weird, patchworky episode that I am kind of throwing together on a whim because of problems. But yeah, you guys take care. I'll see you next time. Have a good night, everybody. Bye.